It's time to make peace with your addiction by understanding your addiction better and thinking it. Hear me out. Don't close yet. I know this is going to be a new concept for addiction, but I promise it will make sense by the end of this video. If you trace addictions back, they usually come from a trauma. And I will just get on my soapbox one more time and explain what a trauma is. Trauma is when something happens that the emotion is too big for you to process at the time. Either it was an accident, somebody abused you, all of those things. The emotion was too big to process, and that's a trauma. So to deal with a trauma, we start an addiction to maybe numb us or escape from the feelings that we're having, because we don't want to deal with them, we don't want to process them. And listen to this very carefully. Your addiction became your safe place. Life felt like hell. Growing up, your home felt like hell. The place you were living, it felt like hell. And so you found a safe place. And to think of your addiction as your safe place really puts it in a different perspective. It was there to protect you from the hell you were in. Though it was only for a short time, the drinking, the drugs, watching pornography, overeating, shopping, whatever it is, it was there for a short amount of time, and then you had to go back to reality. It didn't really solve the problem, but your brain knew that you would be able to go back to it. Yeah, it's hell for a little bit, but I do still have my safe place I can go back to. And it becomes this, you really, really need it. And I'm not going to get into how drugs are addictive and on their own, but it was your safe place. To understand that really helps to understand yourself and why you keep going back to the addiction. And I just want to put a little caveat in here for the religious sphere and how hard it is for maybe young adolescents or children growing up and living in an abusive home, and their parents are still taking them to church, and life feels like hell, but they found an addiction. They found, pornography or drinking that gives them an escape for a little bit, and it gives them a safe place to go to. And then they go to church and they hear that they're a sinner. This can really cause a spiral effect for them. I feel like I'm living in hell. I found a safe place. Now I feel like I'm going to hell, and how that can really spiral us. But there's a way that we can truly help our addiction. There's a part of us that's addicted, and it's carrying this burden of the addiction. It's carrying all the hurt and pain of the trauma, and it's trying to survive, and it's trying to protect you. Your addiction has been a protector for you for a long time to overcome that trauma that you experienced. It's trying to help you deal with that. So first thing that you can do is listen to that part and thank it for what it's done. That it protected you. It gave you a safe place to go to. It gave you, escape and outlet for a while. And that's really hard for your brain to want to give up. Your brain wants to know that safe place is always going to be there. And so you can think it. And then let it know that you're not that child anymore. That you're not in that place anymore. And that you are an adult now. Or, even you're just older now. You're in a better place. And you are going to let yourself process this emotion and that trauma, and you're going to find a better place. Release that part of you that's carrying the addiction and that burden, and thank it, but tell it, I don't need you to do that anymore. And let it take on a different role in your life. Where would that addictive part rather put its energy towards? Would it rather put its energy towards their loved ones, or being more creative, or putting more into their work or school or whatever it is, where would that part rather put its energy than into being an addict to protect you? And let it know that you can protect yourself now. And give it a better place to be in your life and in your body. Give it a new role, a new place. And welcome it, love it, thank it, but then allow it to change. Allow it to be something different. And I think taking that approach to addiction can really help not only you, but the loved ones in your life that may also have an addiction. Show them this video. Let them know that it was their safe place, and they don't want to give that up. Your brain does not want to give up its safe place. But you do have the power to create a new safe place for yourself.